My name is John Jeru from Colorado Christian University, presenting my MBA 699 ON35. Personal introspective analysis. My vision statement: to live a life of meaning by learning new ideas, pursuing excellence, and gaining mastery over the challenges of life. My mission statement. My mission is to be an instrument of calculating positive change within the family, work, and community by utilizing my talents, values, strategies, and administrative skills. My personal and ethical values: honesty, respect, responsibility, integrity, punctuality, discretion, and confidentiality, and continuous professional development. My leadership style: democratic leadership. Aggregate introduction. Aggregate mining is the mining of sand, gravel, and crushed stone is one of the most significant economic activities in the world. From the Global Aggregate Information Network, the global production of aggregates has risen to over 50 billion tons, according to Urad. Mining of aggregates predominantly takes place in low and middle-income countries. In these countries, the mining of aggregates is done to support the local industry for exports to high-income countries. However, aggregate mining is unregulated by the UN. This has resulted in large-scale environmental destruction, illegal trade activities, and climate change. I will provide an assessment of the aggregate mining according to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, thus providing proof that international policies and laws on aggregate mining need to be amended. Problem statement. Aggregate mining activities should be safe, environmental friendly, and income generating to both the government and the population. However, aggregate mining activities in LMIC are bound with complex consequences resulting from geomorphic, ecological, societal, and health issues. This is because the mining activities are unregulated and majority of the income generated is illegally traded to high-income countries. Therefore, there needs to be change on the policies on aggregate mining for all countries to mitigate its effects. To prove the need of this change, I will describe the present conditions of aggregate mining in the LMICs, how they impact the environment, and provide an assessment of these activities based on the UN Standard of Development Goals. From the law and policy changes, quarry and trade activities of aggregates will be regulated. Mining of sand, gravel, and stone can be traced back to the beginning of civilization. This is a literature review. The production of aggregates has risen, has increased with the increase in the global population. High-income countries, HICs, consume a majority of the 50 billion tons of aggregates produced annually. In China, the demand for aggregates has increased to nearly 300% due to the rapid construction of roads, buildings, and expressways, hence the need for importing shower. Illegal trade is prevalent. For example, in 2006 and 2016, Singapore imported approximately 80.22 million tons of sediments from Cambodia. However, according to the Cambodian government, only 3.5% of this value was exported legally. This is according to one article. Overexploitation of natural resources has resulted in massive environmental degradation and changes in biodiversity. For example, mining activities in Okbere, Ogun State, Nigeria, has resulted in severe changes in the biodiversity around the region. The main aim of this study was to examine whether mining of aggregates in LMIC countries is in accordance with the UN Standards of Development Goals. These goals are based on the following factors: poverty, hunger, health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water, sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequality, sustainable cities, communities, and responsible consumption. The quantitative methodology involved the review of existing documents concerning the aggregate mining industry in the world. The data has been obtained from public records, annual reports, policy manuals, university researchers, physical documents, and provide physical evidence of the research in question. The global production and consumption of aggregates. China, India, Asia, Africa, Europe, Russia, Middle East. Data analysis and results collected. Percentages. Recommendations. Introduction of protected areas in marine and freshwater habitats. Introduction of a fair trade policy. Standardized costs for aggregates globally. Contamination policy that regulates the use of contaminants in aggregate mining activities. Law on labor conditions. Development of fiscal regime. Be developed to ensure that there is a balance between the government's need to maximize revenue on mining and achieving long-term investment plans in the mining operations. New technologies and alternatives. For example, use melted ice sheet as a source of sand and gravel and recycling concrete waste products. These are my references.